This is Steve Van Valen of Culturology, and I wanted to share with you today some thoughts about the future of culture as a competitive strategy. And I thought it might be interesting to do a good old-fashioned SWOT analysis to look at this. And we know SWOT is an acronym which stands for Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities, and Threats. And so let's first take a look at the strengths of culture going into the future. What kind of role is it going to play in terms of a competitive advantage? And here's what's happened. We have hit a tipping point, hooray, where culture has moved from a secret sauce kind of element for the elite few companies out there to being a competitive necessity. In other words, you almost have to have it. And people are aware of this in the marketplace, and the savvy leaders know that. The other thing that's a real advantage is having leaders that get it. Young people coming out of college are savvy now to culture and have a vision for even leading companies in the future using values and creating something magnificent for themselves. So we have leaders that get it and understand the value, and then we also have workers that are demanding it. So this is the old case of demand creating supply. People that have been in a great culture know that they'll never settle for anything less. They know what it meant to their performance, what it meant to them sort of emotionally, and the less stress that they've gone through. And so that demand has created more of a supply. These are wonderful strengths. The tipping point has happened for culture as a competitive advantage. But what are some of the weaknesses we need to call out? I think right now there's a bit of a swing on the focus of symbols of experience, in other words, the employee experience, without the substance of emotional connection being emphasized, at least at the same rate. When I talk about symbols of experience, what I'm speaking about is that some great things, having incredible hipster urban space, that's really a cool open environment, free lunch every day, the extreme dress down, and maybe even the beer cart that rolls out at happy hour, and special unique reward programs and benefits. Great symbols, but without the substance, those things essentially can be entitlements and not the things that great culture as a competitive advantage are built upon. When I talk about substance of an emotional connection, I'm talking about relationships, the relationships that we have with our boss, with our peers, and even our customers, understanding how our brand really impacts the world around us. That substance has sustainability built into it, which really needs to be emphasized, at least as much as symbols. Those are some of the weaknesses to keep in mind. The opportunities, this is great stuff. I call it now ferocious collaboration in our future, where people are becoming more and more savvy for how to generate ideas, how to share them with others and move them through the pipeline. And if you couple that with the new technology, the different tools we have for communicating, getting feedback from each other rapidly, and moving ideas to innovation, this is a huge competitive advantage. Think how quickly you can move on opportunities, on things that impact your business in terms of change, trends in the marketplace, new pricing strategies. All those ways in which we execute within our culture has a huge impact. And if we collaborate well, this is a huge opportunity to build a competitive advantage. The threats, I called out just two of them as highlights here, but one is extreme political correctness. In some cultures, we could potentially have the idea of being too sensitive to giving and receiving feedback from each other, especially if it's constructive feedback. If we have a fear built within our culture that, I wonder how this person's going to receive this, and we hesitate to be honest, open, and transparent about ways that we can improve and get better, because we might think, are they going to run to HR? I'm a man, they're a woman. I'm a woman, they're a man. Whatever it may be that we see as differences between us, those political correctnesses can stand in the way of being honest with each other with feedback, which is so valuable to improve. The second I call the democratization of entrepreneurism, a fancy way for saying, you know what, people have tremendous options nowadays. People of any age can immediately launch a business. Within 2 days, have a website up, and even launch a Kickstarter campaign to raise capital. And why are they doing that? First of all, because they can, and because they want to seek purpose and meaning in their life and have the freedom to really pursue something great. So this is a threat because it's a competition for those great minds within your organization. And it's only a threat if your organization doesn't provide people with freedom, purpose, and meaning in the work, because they'll want to stay with you. If you don't have it, it's a threat because they'll want to leave. So those are two highlights under the threats, and there we have the full picture. And by the way, these are just highlights, a few of the major trends that I think are relating to the future of culture as a competitive advantage. But the real question is, what's the future of your culture? What are your current strengths? What do you anticipate them being in the future? And boy, if you can get your arms around this and really be strategic about leveraging culture to be one of those things that can crush the competition, it makes a huge difference in success. We're here at Culturology ready to help, so please let us know how we can review this with you. I'd be more than happy to share the rest beyond the highlights of what I shared here to make an impact in your business. Thank you.